Today, let's talk about guilt. Every one of us experiences guilt at times because we have a conscience, because we hold expectations for ourselves. When we realize that we've done something wrong, that we've hurt someone, our heart inevitably feels the weight of guilt. This guilt, if not handled with care, can bring deep, lasting pain. Freud once said, "Guilt is the root of many emotional struggles." For those with addictions, if they keep punishing themselves, true healing becomes so hard to reach. Guilt and shame often appear together, but they are not quite the same. Guilt focuses on our actions, making us feel, "I did something wrong," while shame targets our entire being, making us feel, "I am bad, I am unworthy." Guilt is a barrier we can't cross within our own conscience. Shame is the inability to face society, feeling utterly exposed and unworthy. If guilt or shame is not handled gently, it can cause great harm. There are three main ways this can happen. First, there is self-punishment. Someone who carries chronic guilt may develop psychosomatic issues where emotional pain triggers physical discomfort. I know a friend who a few years ago suddenly suffered from severe stomach problems. After talking with him, I learned his father had passed away years before from stomach cancer. He felt he hadn't taken good enough care of his father, and that this led to his father's death. He was overwhelmed with guilt, so in his subconscious, he developed stomach issues himself, hurting his own body as a way to express love for his father, yearning for a subconscious connection. Later, after working through a series of transformations, his stomach condition miraculously healed without medicine. He no longer needed to punish himself in this way. Another time, I met a different friend whose face was swollen. It was strange until I learned he had just walked into a lamppost. After chatting, I discovered that morning he had harshly scolded his son. He felt terrible about himself, consumed by guilt. So, through this accident, he punished himself, hoping also to gain sympathy from others. In truth, if he could accept himself, forgive himself, he wouldn't need to hurt himself to express his guilt. Ongoing guilt can bring a second impact, which is self-shrinkage, not allowing yourself to experience happiness or joy, living in a constant state of powerlessness and self-blame, losing motivation, easily slipping into depression or anxiety, and in more severe cases, feeling nothing at all about anything, becoming cold, frozen inside, losing the ability to love, even hurting others without feeling a thing. The third possible harm comes from hiding guilt and projecting it outward. It turns into harsh judgment of others. I know a friend who has deep issues with money. He often stands on a moral high ground, criticizing others for being stingy or cheating people out of money. After deeper conversation, I learned when he was in his 20s and just starting work, he greatly admired his boss, but he ended up deceiving his boss, taking money from him. He felt immense guilt. Sadly, his boss later passed away. Unable to process this guilt, he projected it outward, turning it into criticism of others. But guilt can also serve a very positive purpose. The key lies in learning to accept, to forgive, and to transform this emotion. Then, use guilt as a driving force for life. How do we do this? Let's explore that together tomorrow. For now, please take a deep breath and slowly let it out. Let your heart settle into stillness. No matter what guilt you carry, tell yourself, it's okay. I am here. I will stay with myself and gently walk through all this step by step.